Did you know the same video?
He's an awesome horse. This morning we noticed that he's limping quite a bit. How much we are lameness in a horse? You know, some horses don't recover from that.
Okie dokie. Hopefully we got things going here. We'll see. Considering you guys don't really know what I'm coming on, you know, as the title says, lessons number 2. So I think I'll do standard type of scene and just talk real slowly about the process of it. What I did today is take a 12 by 16. This is just, once again, watercolor paper. I just folded it in half, glued it, so it's just a, you know, regular practice sheet. All right. Hey, Sonia, how are you? So it's just a practice sheet once again. Okay. I'll start off with some clouds. I'll do the kind of clouds that you're probably familiar with me doing and all of that. Just go through this list of colors because I got plenty of them. Will I use all of them? I really don't know. The paper is kind of scrunched. It's packed in because of, let's see if I got it right, because of this guy right here. When he pops up, because it's a 3-camera shot, the actual picture gets kind of compacted a bit. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Hello, Teresa. Good morning. Welcome. Let's try not to get the RV DJ fired for looking at me here at work. All right. I got a row of colors here. Yellow ochre, just a light blue, cad red, raw umber, phthalo green, ultramarine, Prussian blue, titanium white. Like I say, don't know if I'll be using all of these, you know, but we'll see. Okay. All right. Let's just start with, now I have glycerin and paint on here. That's why you see the white fingerprints. So this is just my way of using liquid white if I was doing oil painting. Okay. This is acrylic. All right. Faster to clean, easier to clean, and all of that good stuff. All right, here we go. We'll just kind of coat this whole thing with it. Now, this blue will undoubtedly mix in with the white. Okay. It may stain a bit if I don't move fast enough because it's got paint mixed in with it. All right, so I'll try to get a nice even coat of this stuff. I'm doing it in somewhat X strokes, pushing it into the paper. Now, watercolor paper is porous, so it does sink in to the, it will sink into the paper, and it will get tackier faster because of the paint that's mixed in with the vegetable glycerin. It's getting tacky now. It also responds to how warm or how cool your room is. If it's a little warm, it's definitely going to tack up that much faster. All right, you can do clouds in various type of ways. All right. Now, once it starts getting tacky, I can't really force the issue with the paint because it's already in there. This is fine. Okay. I'm going to take a fan brush, probably a softer fan brush here, and I'll use a little bit of the dark blue. I'll kind of pull it here. And I'll come up here from the center, and I'll just kind of wave it around in different little areas. Now, because I know that this is tacking up a bit, I will be mindful to not really take my time and play around as much, because it would be harder to blend it with that paint mixed in there. But this is kind of the general way I would normally do my swirling clouds. I don't know if this is going to work because once again it's kind of tacked up, but we'll see. I'll take a very soft brush, and this is nothing but a makeup brush you can buy at Walmart somewhere. I'm going in circular motions, and what I'm doing really is smoothing out this paint. Kind of very soft bristled brush. You can kind of fade it out there. All right, but you kind of see the little cloud-like formations that's happening with it. And you can control how much of this you want in your painting by just pressing. Okay. The more you twirl this brush around, the more it starts to blend. Now, if you see little dark patchy things like what's going on with it now, don't worry about it, because we're going to add white to this also. So we'll get a little action in the sky. So once again, don't fret. Like say white paint or whatever color paint you use, mixing with the glycerin, it will dry, it will tack up fast. But as you can see, I can still manipulate it and move it around. Okay, you see I got strong little patches here. This is where it kind of stained up a little bit, stained into the paper, but once again, don't fret, it's all right. Got a lot of movement going around. That's kind of what I'm looking for. All right, I'll clean this brush off. This variation of making clouds is just one of many. All right, hey Norgus, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope the family's doing well. Hope the daughter's doing okay. We'll once again go with this brush, larger brush. We're gonna go a little bit into the titanium white. I'll pull it this way. Now, with the titanium white will cover depth. It's very opaque. Then you pretty much, if you don't like what you see here, you can kind of go over it and swim it around and play with it a little bit like that. Now you see, as I'm doing it, it's picking up that blue. Okay, and it's fine. It's all right. Let it come on around in here. I don't want to get rid of all of that light blue, and I won't. But I'll just take my fan brush and kind of twirl it around. Let's play with that before I add anything else. Let's get the same brush, and we'll kind of twirl it around. I should use a smaller brush, but this will be fine for what I want. And you're just really just rubbing that white in there. I don't want to really get rid of all of the intensity of it. Just swirl around the edges a little bit here and there. But you see what it's starting to appear to look like and all of that. Come out here, just dance it around. If you want a little more lightness on the bottom, then you kind of rub all of that in the bottom like that. Okay, take the brush once again and twirl it in circles. I skip around a little bit. The more you blend, the more it will mix in with its background. But like I said, I don't want all that intensity of the brightness to go away. So, little things like that. But look what's happening there. See all this action that's going around there. If you see me kind of my eyes shifting towards one direction and not looking directly at you, it's because I got a 40-inch TV screen that I'm looking at. So I get a different kind of perspective, a different view of what's happening here. I'll come out here, and I'll kind of put some of this down on the bottom down here. Kind of just lighten things up a bit. Come here, I'll really press it here. And then I'll kind of, you can tap it. Do what I'm doing here, just wave it around a little bit. My main thing is really to kind of smooth it out. Now, once again, the paint is a little tacky. Now, I'm going to fix the focus. Every time I put a layer on, it does do this. The focus will kind of do what it's doing right there. Okay, now it caught it. All right, when you put a layer of paint on, this is a very sensitive camera, so it's kind of hard for it to kind of judge where certain stuff is happening, what's going on. But as you see, a whole lot of stuff happening just by doing this and just rubbing it in there. Okay, you got three variations of color going on. You got the darker blue, the sky blue, and then you just got titanium white, which is mixing in with both colors. All right, okie dokie. But that's how I do. Very quick clouds, a lot of action in them. Looks more complicated than it really is. Now, if I want the clouds to look a little more storm filled, I add like a touch of brown and blue in there and do the same thing. Okay, and then now you got thunderheads and stuff like that. So little color variants, and you can really change the look of your whole painting. All right, I have 3 buckets. 2 filled obviously with water. The other one, which you can hear, it's got a shoe rack down there that I brush these against. You just shape up the brush. This brush has been with me for a while. It's starting to kind of flare out and kind of lose its spring a little bit, so it might have to go to the great beyond. All right, anyway, clouds. Now the tape, edge of the tape is right above the TV or above your viewing line. It's right here at the edge, so you're not really missing anything there. Okay. Hey, Jessica, COVID battle going on. Don't tell me, I know all about it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, mind-boggling, really. With that thing comes from the pit of hell. That disease, virus. All right. Usually when I start doing stuff like this, I do mountains and trees and such, and we'll probably just continue to do so. All right. Like I say, this is pretty tacky, starting to dry up. We'll see what happens. I'll do it the traditional Ross way, I guess. We'll see how that goes. I'm going into my raw umber here. I'll just take a little bit and I'll put it right here. I want to make a dark mix. This might turn green on me if I add the dark blue, but we'll see. I'll add a little red. That'll kill some of that green if it starts to turn green. I just want a nice deep dark mix. I know a little bit of that white escaped in there, but that's okay. A deep mix. Now I can probably get that a little darker, but this is just me showing you something, so it's okay. All right, with a dark color, you don't really need thick paint for this stage. All right, I got a big beach towel on my lap that I wipe my palette knife and stuff on. Now, traditionally, you'll take something like this. Okay, I'll put it up here. You take something like this and you just spread it out. All right. Then you get yourself a little swipe across. It looks like that, a little roll of paint there. Okay. I'll show it to you this way. Now, me being a lefty, sometimes my mountains look a little. But we'll try it out. We'll go from up here. Get a nice kind of, see those crazy looking. The most important part, actually, what I'm trying to say is the edge, just the top of the mountain is really the important thing. All right, let's spread that out a little bit better. Let's spread all of that out a lot better than that. Let's rub some of that in there. There. Get a nice sharp edge to your mountain there. I'll keep it like that over there on that side. We'll just kind of come here, get it pointed, kind of jagged. Something like that. Don't worry about what's going on here. Okay. That's not the important part right now. Come here. Once again, get a nice sharp top edge there. Something like that. All right, we'll keep it like that. No big deal. Now, I can't just take this and just scrape it along like, just take it and kind of scrape it like that, you know. But I'll just take the brush. It's just easier to do it. It fills it in a little bit better. I'm taking a 3/4 inch brush. Once again, it depends on how wet this stuff is. But as you see, I'm just pulling downward. I'm pulling down in the kind of the mountain direction that all this is going. Down toward the center, it kind of pulls outward. Let's go up here. Smooth that out a little bit. Like that. Okay. And then I'll slowly start going in the other direction. All depends on how you want your mountain to look there. He's starting to tack up and dry, but that's okay. Come on down here like this. Just drag it down. As you get toward that edge of the mountain there, kind of bring it on down. Get toward the edge, go on out there like that. All right. And it depends how, like I say, how far you want it to go down. All right, we still got our white paint and glycerin mix. So I'm gonna start to kind of fade that bottom in there. I'll use a bigger brush, it's just quicker. And I'll just take it and we'll just start to kind of, I'm gonna press a little bit on this because it's, once again, it's starting to dry. So I'll just kind of press a little harder, going half into the glycerin mix, half into the paint itself. And it just blends in. Okay. If I had more glycerin in white, it would blend in even better than what it's doing now, but that's all right. Because all of this is going to be covered anyway with whatever I put there. So it really doesn't matter. And plus I got to add the details to the mountain, so don't worry about all of that. If I had more white, it would look like mist and fog going through there. Okay. But see, I can just rub it if I wanted to. See how I can manipulate this stuff. And once again, I am on paper, not canvas, so it's a different feel altogether. Doing it this way, I can make some of that disappear on the edge there. Just like that. You really want, what's the most important thing is the jagged stuff up there. All right. Okay. All right. So we've got this now, glycerin and paint together. It will make your board or your paper kind of tacky. All right, but you'll get accustomed to it. All right. Okay. Let's move right along here. Mountains. Let's pull in a little bit. Kind of fill it up here. Okay. Let's say the peak here. We'll just deal with this one here. I'll just kind of mark it here like this. See that? I'm just marking it, then I'll go this way or whatever. All right. Those are peaks. Those will be the high point. That tip there, imagine that tip making that line. That's basically what that is. All right, we'll do one here. We'll do one kind of coming this way. Okay, and we'll curve it out this way. We'll do one here. And maybe we'll get a gully so we have them meet like that. Have fun, have fun. This one here, let's have him kind of curve this way and go out that way, like that. All right, okay. There's all other things we can do but you know, these are some of the bigger ones. Oh, have him come out here like that. All right, so I think you guys can kind of start to see what's kind of happening there, more or less. Let's go into, now you can make white cap mountains, you can make natural color mountains. It's really up to you at this point. You've already got your base color set here. All right, okay, where do I want the light first to come from? Really up to you. You have to come from the left to the right, whatever you're comfortable with. All right, okay, let's get what's left of this dark color. We'll add a little white to it. Just contaminate the white a little bit. That's fine. Drag it right out like that. Now this works well with heavy bodied acrylic paint. Okay. C-Stacks, how you doing? Good to see you. So I guess we'll do the light edge coming from the left hand side. We'll take a little swipe of paint, just like that. A little swipe. You got, there you go. You should see that. All right. See that little swipe of paint there? Okay. Now you notice the way I'm holding the knife. All right. I don't hold it like this. You're not baking a cake. You hold it like this. Okay. You end up bending. I'm exaggerating, but you end up doing one of those numbers. That's not what you want. You want to try to steer it like a car. Okay. Okay. We'll go from over here. And what I'm going to do is see where that line is. So everything to the left of that line we'll kind of play around with. Now what you do technically really is go from that side and you kind of go downward. You curve it. Just like that. Let it break up like that. Just let it break. Okay. And you continue right along that line. Just have a little fun with it. Don't try to cover every single inch of your base color. Don't do that. Come on down. Just have fun with it. Okay. I'll put it right there. You guys can see exactly how. And now I'm going. Now this is one steep mountain because I'm aiming it downward. You can kind of curve it if you would like. Up to you. I'm not getting rid of all of those lines, but that's okay. When it gets on the darker half, we'll cover that up also. Let's see if I got enough to do all of this. I might not. Let's go over here. Same thing. Very gentle. Just come here. We'll make a nice deep gully here. Take it, and then we'll kind of curve upward with it like that. I'll rob some from over there, come over here, make a nice little gully right up in there like that. Leave it be. Because remember, that half is the dark half. You follow me? Is that making sense? Allow the paint to break. Yep, you guys can see that. All right, come right in here. Now, I'm a lefty. You right-handed. People can do the same thing. Come on over here. Come on here. Come on straight down like that. Boom. I ran out, but that's okay. I'll just make some more. Just like that. But look at what's going on with it. Okay. Your eyes can give that illusion of these peaks. What did I use? Brown and white. Ran out of white too. That's all right. That's a little dark. Just get a little bit more white. Pop it right here. I usually use, especially if I'm teaching, a small color, a small palette, color palette. So when it comes to mixing, people kind of know what on earth is happening, how I get the colors to be the way they are. I think I added a little blue in this too. And I think I added a little red. Just allow it to mix. Just mix it. And then I'll brighten it up a little bit more. Just lighten it up a bit. As you see, we got this nice light grayish color happening there. All right, I'll spread it out a little, and then we'll continue on. Where are we at here? Let's add some love right here. Let's have one a little higher like this. Have it come down. Yeah, that's fine. Come here, and you can kind of wiggle and kind of turn it and do all sorts of interesting things with it. Come here, let it break, and just have a ball with it. All right. Same thing. I already did this part. Here, we'll kind of spread it out a little bit more. Come down here, add some. With the mountains, you can keep adding and adding and adding, you know, to your heart's desire, really. But see, just let it break apart. Let it do its thing. Okay. Here, let me show you something. It's not totally white. I contaminated it a little bit. The brighter the highlight, the less of it you need. That's too much. Let me thin that out a little bit more. There. This is just my preference. I really don't want it to be super thick with the brighter paint. Very lightly come on in there and kind of add a few little touches on the side. Very light. Wisp it around like that. I don't have to add too much to it. This one's a little thin. I think I can pop a little bit up top there. Up here. Come on down here a little bit. All right. Let's leave that a little bit dark. I like the way that looks when it's dark like that. Let's come up here and we'll add it. Just take your knife, all right, and just let it happen. It's called incidentals, if you want a technical term to what's happening here, what's going on. All right. Okay. Let's pan back a little bit so you guys can catch it. The whole thing. All right. If you would like, you can just leave it just like that. It's more than convincing enough. Okay, up to you. Let's add a little bit of, just use this color, actually. I'm gonna add a little blue to that, gray. Okay. This is the dark half of the mountain. Now, when I mention dark half of the mountain, not necessarily meaning that you're going to use black. No. Now we can add a little bit white. Now that's blue and gray mix, adding some white to it. And now you're going to have a shaded, cooler side of the mountain. This blue shall be fine. Okay, take this blue. Once again, we'll kind of spread it on out, really thin. You're going to repeat the process Hey, Bruce, what's going on? Yeah, he's always been a massive drinker, and since he was a puppy, he used to drain his dish. Now, once again, you're gonna go in the opposite direction, okay? Right where the creases would be, and very lightly, you kind of come down, and go on up, like so. You go a little bit into the white if you would like. All right, but you're going in the opposite direction. Like so. You can kind of play around with it, chop it up a little bit, come on down, curve it. But you want to go, once again, in the opposite direction. You don't want to cover up all your dark gray either. Don't do that. Bad mojo. Don't do that. Oh, do I really want anything up over there? No, but right here, where I want it a little bit darker, I'll just kind of play around with some stuff in here. I want these to kind of be in shadow. And look at what you're doing, okay? Check it out. You'll get to see all these patterns and everything as you do them more and more. Okay. Right up in here. Very lightly. Trail it along. Once again, these are called incidentals, so you really don't know what's happening. You can direct it, kind of like an organized chaos. You can direct where this stuff is going. Okay, really up to you how far you want to push this. Okay, got a little bit of white. Oh, kind of tap some things in here. Little bright little things in there. Up to you. You get it detailed. As you want. Bring some of this kind of snowy stuff, mix it in there. See, now you're dealing with topography of your mountain. All right, how much of this you want to be snow covered? Mix it in with a little bit of that blue there. Okay, really up to you. I can come here and kind of scoop it in there like that. Pop a little bit of it in here into the blue if you want. Up to you. Really, your prerogative and how you wanna do this. I'm just right now just having a little fun playing around wherever I want the light to hit there. Up to you. Just keep playing with it. I really don't want no super large, super jagged edges there. It doesn't need to be there like that. Okay, we'll stop messing around. Let's go over here to this far edge here and give them a little love here. Come out here, come out around here. And I'm just playing with just straight titanium white right now. Come on down to the side there, fill it in. Have him come up there a little bit. All right, I'll leave it be. I like where the shadow's going with it. Let's pronounce this edge a little bit more. We'll get some spillover in there. I don't want such a sharp edge. I'll just keep rubbing it there. All right. And then just leave it be. Leave it alone. Once again, it's still kind of tacky. Okay. Take a brush, preferably one a little thicker than this, and you just kind of tap the bottom edge here. Now I can get away with this because once again the paint's still kind of tacky. Okay, I'm going partially into the bottom of this. I'm really beating this brush down. Beat it right in there. Go up a little further, just like this. All right, then I'll just take it with a firm touch and I'll kind of whisk up into the mountain. Okay, and you just missed out the bottom a little bit. Once again, I'm kind of used to the paint and glycerin mix, so I know what I can and can't do. I know what I can get away with. All right, okay. Of course, I'm running out of white paint, but that's okay. All right, we'll do the mist thing. We'll come out here and I'll just use the side of the brush. And we'll kind of pop in some quick mist in here. Go from the bottom of the mountain and you bring it up into the mountain. Okay. And you see we're just kind of blurring things out a little bit. I'm running out of white. Of course I am. Yeah. You'd be surprised at what colors you'll run out of real quick. I would rather use a little bit of paint at a time than not use a lot and kind of, you know, waste it. I don't want to waste it. As you see, I just missed it a little bit. I'm using the side of the brush, even the brush this size. And you just keep layering. Go up as far as you feel you need to go to get that look. See a little mist there. You still see those details in there. Okay, but it's shrouded a little bit. Your preference, how you want to do this. That's fine. All right. Okay. Now, once again, the series of mountains and the series of the dips and the valleys, all of that stuff happening there is all called incidentals. Okay. So when you use your palette knife, you really don't know what pattern it's going to make. You know how to do it, okay, when you start doing this stuff, but you don't know how it's going to look, what direction. All right, you know what to do as far as pressure to press or to turn the knife blade. All right, that you have control over, where it's going, but how it's going to look, you don't really have an idea. Okay, you can just mold it and just shape it to how you would want it. Okay. But that's how you would get a mountain pretty much to look the way it's looking right now. All right. Okay. As far as mist and fog, you just layer it very thin and you just keep adding light layers. The more layers you add, the more it starts to build up. It might not look it at first, but just keep repeating it. And that's how you get to do it. Thank you, Vermont. Yes, the Soviet bots are doing their job. I don't usually get too many of those, but yeah. Okay. After this, like I say, it's more or less this painting is more or less the general, at least my version of a general landscape deal. You know, mountain, clouds, trees. Yeah. All right. But like I say, this is a learning thing. Okay. All right. Right. I can add foothills. You know, I'm not really big on foothills, but you can add them. There's a few different ways you can add your foothills or your trees. Depending on how far back you want your mountain, how large you want the mountain, is really up to you. Okay. Like I said, I guess I'll do this the general way, I suppose. So I guess I really shy away from doing it that way because of what I've learned and what, you know, and everything throughout time. Okay, we'll darken it a little bit. We'll put it here in this blue gray. We'll mix this what I got left of that dark blue, which isn't much. So we use some green. We'll put it in with that sky blue, that bluish gray. Add a little brown. We'll darken it up a little bit. They're kind of far away. All right. And these foothills, I'm gonna add more brown there and deepen that green up a little. All right. Okay. I guess this will be okay-ish. Now, I have them a little larger, a little shorter. Kind of doesn't, you know. I don't have to really go up into the mountain because we got fog there, so we'll let the fog, we'll play with that fog a little bit. So we'll come here, and I'll do this. I'll bring my brush down a little. Okay, and I'll just use the corner. But see this? We get it strong here. Okay, and we'll lighten it up a little bit, but strong here. Fairly strong. And then I'll go light up into the mountain. Why? Because it looks like the fog is taking over there. Very light, very sparse, very light. But we're going to keep it heavy here. Keep it heavy here. Turn my brush around, keep it heavy here. But we're going to get a little sparse, little light up into there. But just keep it fairly heavy down here. And you'll bring it down a little bit. Make it look kind of patchy. You got thick growth of trees in spots. We'll kind of get it a little sparse down here too. Like that. Get some more paint. Really, let's go real light up here. And then we'll get it heavier again. Really massive, longer trees here. Kind of group them there. We'll keep a nice little fog bank in there like that. A little more green, a little more brown. Yeah, we actually got a few inches this morning of snow. Happened last night. We'll bring some of that up here. A little thicker there. It'll come up on this side a little bit. Go right off the page there. Kind of get it a little thicker down here. Have it come right off the page over here. Then we get it kind of. Oh, of course, you guys don't see that. Let's move it over a little bit. Spread it out a little bit. And get your nice little dark patches of woods here. Okay. Like I say, I don't really want all of it going up into the mountain. Okay. Let's raise it up a little bit, like that. All right. Cleaning off the brush. This is a hog's hair fan brush. Okay, very stiff. It'll keep its shape there. All right. Okay. Let's take take a little bit of white, just a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna come here. I'm on the side of the tape. Just wipe some of that off, and I'm gonna come here, and we're gonna kind of throw some mist in those trees a little bit there. Just a little bit, just to fog it up. But I'm only using a few hairs, literally a few hairs of white, and very lightly kind of throw some mist in there. Okay, once again, it just sells the illusion of you know, the mist coming off the mountain, coming into the trees where the trees are a little sparse. Okay, so I want you to look and check this out. You can bring some in a little further than you would the other ones. All right, and it's just me, a few bits of paint. Okay, now once again, you got a few seconds while this is still kind of wet to blend and have a little fun with all of this. See how it just kind of rolls? It used to give the appearance of it rolling in the mist rolling through. All right. This is all depends. I'm just showing you little tips and tricks of how you can do all of this. Now this is glycerin and paint mix that's on the paper. All right, it's obviously starting to tack up a bit. Bring it right down in there. You want to blur some of these trees out. You want to blur some of that mountain out. Not everything's like perfect. You know, some of it, you know, just get naturally blended out. Okay. Let's go up here a little bit, up into that mountain. Let's kind of take it and just kind of, you know, blur some things out there. All right. Now you really got some stuff going on in there. All right. If it was brown, it would look like a big old forest fire. Same technique, change the color, you get a whole different painting. All right. Okay. Yesterday, or last night, literally last night, I did that paranormal graphic design thing, and I actually painted it. You guys won't be able to see it with the camera, but the eye is white, but the rest of it is like this metallic silver. I used the this poor guy. Okay, I don't do very much graphic design anymore, but you know, it was something that he liked, and he wanted a painting of it, so I made it 16 by 20. Had fun with it. Okay, so this is what we have. We'll bring it down a little bit, and this is what we have going on there. Okay, now I can have a little bit of fun with this. You know, I can fade it out or whatever. I can do what I think I'm gonna show it to you. I can somewhat glaze color on there. I'll use this brush. And when I say about glazing color, there's a few ways you can glaze color. You can use glycerin, you can use water. Okay. Then it really depends on your ratio of well, this is mainly dry, so it's not gonna really have an effect. That's cool. As long as it's mostly dry, it doesn't matter. The loose stuff I'll get off, the dry stuff won't matter. It's not gonna do anything. I'm using a 3/4 inch brush here, flat. Let's go into a little bit of the raw umber. We'll put it here. Maybe a little bit of green in that raw umber, just to mix it up a little bit there. a little more brown. I want a little more brown green. Okay. And now I can use water, I can use glycerin, either or. The difference is water can tend to be a little streaky. Okay. So just be careful. Water and glycerin are not the best bedfellows. So once again, be careful. I might still want a little more brown in there. It's just mixing in with the water. I got a little bit on the brush. If I got too much on the brush, I can get rid of that too. Okay, if I feel I have too much on. So basically what I'm doing is making a very permanent watercolor. Okay. Yeah, that was wise. All right. So all up in here, I can kind of green it out a little bit. And why am I doing this? Well, it will help in, well, one, it'll stop making this painting look so, it kills the white, basically. Okay, that's all. Long story short. So you don't have to look at the white bottom of the canvas or whatever, and it just fills it in. Once again, be a little careful because you know this paint is still somewhat wet, so you can almost blend all this stuff out of there. Well, not totally blend it out, but yeah, but it's all right. You see what it's starting to look like now. It's starting to fill it up a little bit. And really, it's kind of your eye doing all of that. And you're just going light when it goes into the fog itself. So once again, it really depends on how far you want to take this, how far you want to do it. Okay. And stuff like this, I mean, it's judgment call, how far up you want to do this. Now I just took this painting and turned it into a jungle with all that green. All right. Your eyes do all sorts of little tricks when it comes to all of that, but now your fog looks like it's actually physically in there, like it's got some volume to it now. Okay, when it was just all white, it was all right, but with no color. Okay, now you have color filling in all of this. Now it looks like, you know, it's rolling off that mountain. All right, now your mountain looks even larger. You feel me? All about scale. You kind of get what I'm saying. So, all right, we're under an hour, not too bad. All right, and believe it or not, that's a whole lot of mid-ground. Because of the scale of the foothills here, or the trees going up into the mountains, all right, it's really miles away. All right, there's no real main subject. You got the sky, your mountain range. It's because of the size of your subject, of your mountain range. Mountains are massive and enormous. Okay, then you got all this forest. We all know the size of a mountain. Okay, we all know the size of a forest. It's massive. But now we have such an expanse in our mind's eye of this subject. Okay, it's still pretty much medium vantage point because of its physical size. So you have to have something either darker and bigger up front, okay, to give a sense of depth still, because once again, even though this mountain pretty much fills most of the page, still it's a medium shot because of the size of this. A lot of psychology goes into all of this, which is why you would see that Afro guy throw a big old tree in there or some giant rock or something in front to give a sense of distance. All right, okay. Alrighty then. So now it's my turn. Let's do it. Let's, I don't know if I really want to put another fog bank in there. I could. might as well. Yeah, I don't know if I want to, might as well. Yeah, who cares? Let's put one in there anyway. Let's go a little brighter. Yeah, I'll play with this. A little touch of white. Now, for the fog bank, we'll come down below here. Okay, and we'll just kind of, see, just kind of put it in there. Wave it in there. I'm just using a makeup brush. That's it. Little dot of white. I'm going down below where the tape is here. It gets heavy here. Now, obviously, it's going to be stuff in front of this bank, of course. But I'm going to really put it in there, like so. Another little touch of white. Very soft brush. This brush is also getting pretty much beat down. I've had it for a few years. And sometimes, they just get worn out. Especially when I use them. Yeah, they're gonna get used up pretty healthily. So, and what I'm usually really doing is just getting all that white in between this where the green starts and down below. Even though a lot of that's going to be covered anyway with whatever subject I'm going to put there, but still, it's just when you go up above, going into the jungle here. Okay, you really don't want to lose the flow of the painting, which is why you see me doing what I'm doing right now. All right. Now you got yet another layer here. Now you have to put something larger and dark in there, but you don't want to obscure all your fog, but we'll put something there. No, I already painted an angry tree, Bruce, thanks to you, as a matter of fact. People are really enjoying that tree. They like the actual photograph and then the painted representation of that tree. They're really digging it. Okay, let's put some up here. Let's get, it's gonna have to be a dark mix of some sort. So we'll use up the rest of this brown. Yeah, we use up the brown and green. Pop that red in there. Now with a mix like that, be careful, because you'd be surprised you end up making a soft black with just those colors. Okay, depending on the ratio of colors you're using. Got me? All right, a little more green. Adding green to this brown, well, at least this phthalo, because it's got blue in it. All right, you see how deep that brown is getting? Keep playing with it, it will turn a really soft black on you. Okay, that's cool. But you see that color there? All right. Prussian blue added to that, it would just about be a soft black, really. All right. Which will be pretty neat. I'll pour a little bit of it in there. I might need some more, who knows. And plus it's a good way for me to get rid of all this paint. All right, we'll mix this blue in there with it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And then you turn into a, like I say, a very soft black. Mixing those colors together. So, if you're curious on making such a deep color like that, it will be raw umber, it'll be phthalo blue, phthalo green, cad red, and some Prussian blue. Now that's really a mountain color. All right, that's what Ross would use for a mountain color. It's this mix right here. Okay, very deep color. All right, okay, what do I want to put there? Well, we'll make it look somewhat interesting. Who knows what I'll put there. All right, well, we'll just take the palette knife and we'll play. It's just a foreground subject, so who knows what I'll pop in there. Let's kind of put right in here. I kind of want the edge a little sharp, so we'll kind of pop it in there like that. We'll go up into the fog bank a little bit here. All right, like that. Now, while it's still somewhat wet, I can take a brush and we can still manipulate this stuff. I'm not really concerned about, as long as it's a little bit wet, it's all right. Because I kind of wanted this color, so I'll just kind of drag all this around like that. We'll put the paintbrush to it, make it a little deep, a little dark there. All right. We'll take the 3/4 inch here. Really? The Prussian blue, Bruce? Mike, I don't know if you guys are familiar with an artist from Oregon. His name is Mike Trapp. I usually put him on, if I remember, I usually share him on my page. And for some reason, he can get acrylic Van Dyke brown. Of course, we don't have it at the Michaels here. That looks like something I definitely, and he orders a lot of his paints because where he's at, they just don't have them. And it's some of the paints that we take for granted here, but he'd had to order his, and so he gets quite a few, and he has to get the big tubes, obviously, because they do cost. So okay, so we got this whatever happening here. Okay, and it's just something to put in front of all this. You still see a little bit of the fog bank and things going on there. All right, okay. I can do partial rocks and grass or whatever, anything I want as of right now. Okay, let's take what I haven't used yet. Let's take a little bit of this yellow ochre, mix it in with that dark color I made, and now we're going to get into almost a sap green look. Look at this. Now, why is it able to do that? Well, I did use a lot of blue, and you got to also remember that the umbers is a brown with green in it, which is why you get that sap green look there. Okay, but that's why that dark mountain makes that bluish, deep bluish mix you see here turned into that green using yellow with brown in it. All right, that's why. All right, that's I don't think I got much white paint left here, and that's quite all right. Yeah, a little bit of blue into that mix. Pop that green in there. We'll gray it out with that red. Just keep on mixing it. Keep mixing. Keep mixing. Deeper blue. It's going to turn grayish. All right. I don't have enough white. Of course not. But we're going to add some. So it's got a funky blue-gray mix we got happening there. If we add a little white to it, it'd be an interesting rock color. All right. Just a little bit of white. Starts to lighten up a bit there. So now you got a nice little cool gray happening there. And we'll play with it. We'll just kind of drag it out there like that. When you drag your paint out like that and the air gets to it, it just gets thin real fast. It gets dry real fast. All right. All right. Let's kind of swipe. And we'll just kind of play with some stuff here. We'll go, we'll just take it and kind of do some little wiggles here with it. Get some interesting rock patterns happening there. Come here. And I'm really just kind of going to the side, having it break a little bit. But I'm being very directional with it. I'm really going pretty much left and right. Kind of a slant to the right. All right, which gives me a sense of it being flat. Still rocky formation. We can come here, put an angle, and still have it go flat like that. So very interesting little things going on here with it. Don't necessarily have to bring it all the way to the edge. You can come here and do the same thing like that. I'll add another one there, right up in here. Okay, but you kind of see the little formation that's going on there. All right, I'll add a little touch of white, little micro piece of paint there. I'll marble it. I don't necessarily have to keep it, make it a solid color. And we'll go in the same direction. Now you can do even less work because you've already got a layer of paint there. So you just get it and play with it a little bit in there. Oh, up in here. A little bit here. Still using a little bit of that gray. I just marble it a little bit. Don't make it totally one color. And the paint that's already on here is picking up the rest. All right. All right. Let's add a little more love over here. Just let it paint. Just kind of move around and do what it do. Okay, enough of that. I don't have much green left, it doesn't matter. Oh, I got the green right here. Don't need that. Okay, let's get a, should I use this instead? Can't use it now because it just twirled out of my hands. That's happening to me a lot. I'm gonna have to get that checked out. All right, we'll just use a larger brush, what is this, hog's hair brush. Open it up a little. We'll put some grass in there. And we'll just kind of tap the grass patterns. As you can see, the grass isn't really super bright. Doesn't need to be. Some in here a little. Come out here. I'm not getting rid of all of that blue. We'll highlight a few bits of this. Really, it's just a miniature version of what you see here. It's just up close. That's all. Get a little bit of this yellow. Do I got any white left? No. This is so sad. You need a little bit of white, like an ounce, but it's all right. We're almost done here. So hopefully you're picking up some little hints and clues to how you can kind of improve your own work or add to your work a little bit. We'll come in, add just a few little dabs of, just a few little dabs of love here and there, just like that. Come out here to the front, where it's most likely to catch a little bit of the sun there. Okay, not really behind the rock, but come in this area, up in here a little bit. Okay, but you know, little things like that. All right. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Still need something else. I'll just figure out where should I put it, really. I might have enough to do this. Let's take this synthetic brush. We'll get into our little blue. We'll put it right here where the green is. Right here, we'll mix this up like that. Get a little dark stuff happening there. Will that be enough? I doubt it. We'll have to make that work. We'll see what happens. Okay. Right up in here, right about. Let's pull back a little bit. Bring it down. Right about. Right here. Okay. No problem, Bruce. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll get kind of right about here. Get a little water, loosen up the paint a little bit. We'll put him up there. He's coming off the page there. Up in there. I have to use a little water because the paint is thick. The glycerin paint mix is making this a little tacky, so it's starting to grab real good. And basically, I just want to block this in. Block it in there. You gotta think of contrast, even though it's not pitch black, but still. Even though it's a little further away from us, but you gotta get the impression that this guy, I mean, you can just walk up and climb this thing, you know. But obviously, you know, it's right there. Don't know if I can get away with a second one. I might not have enough here. One of the advantages of thick paint, you know, you can keep adding the water to it. Most definitely. put them right behind this rock. Hopefully my head's not in the way. Nope, it's not. Right now the most important thing really is just blocking it off. Make sure the color is solid enough to block it off. Alright. Essentially still a couple of trees, but in an interesting position. Okay. Coming right up off the tape. Perfect camera angle because you don't see my head leaning. I think I'm leaning about as far as this tree's angled. All right. We're in the finishing lap here. Still learning about contrast. Okay, Jessica. What I mean by contrast. Okay. All right. The reason why these guys appear so much closer to us than this mountain is because of contrast. The mountain, even though it's absolutely enormous, is far away though. Okay. And the sunlight is hitting it. It makes it lighter. And the color of this mountain compared to these two tree trunks is much lighter. You follow me? The green is much lighter. And plus you got all this light fog covering that green. Everything is lighter than these guys, which puts whatever it is that's dark in front of whatever is light. Anything light tends to go farther back when you put something darker in front of it. That's why these trees seem to be so much closer to us than this mountain. Okay, the grass here is darker than the grass out here. Okay, the rocks here are darker than the rock back there. Can you see that? You understand me? Okay, hold on guys. All right, so that's why objects in the front are usually painted a wee bit darker, or even very much darker than your subject in the back. Not saying that these are absolutely really light like these clouds, but if these guys here are still darker than the grass mountain clouds, okay, which brings them forward. Your subject doesn't have to be as big as this mountain to be in front of the mountain, because this is obviously much smaller than the mountain, but because it's darker and it's really taller than this subject, it brings this subject back, okay, and brings this up front. Same thing here. All right, that little piece of green and rock here is not the size of that mountain, but because it's darker and it's right here on the bottom, it pushes that mountain and the grass and the fog back and brings the grass and the rocks and the trees up front closer to you. That's what gives aerial perspective. That's contrast. Dark, light. Okay, so that's contrast. All right, OBKB. Let's play. Last bit. Alrighty. I ran out of dark. The shame of it all. Well, I can do one of two things. I can cheat. Yeah, that's That's what happens when I cheat. Things fall on the floor. Ugh. I'm not gonna get it either. I guess I'll cheat. I'm trying to see what I got left. I'm just gonna use a little bit of black because we're like at the bare end of this thing. Come on. Yeah. And I really don't want to do any color mixing when I'm this close to being finished. That would just be an annoyance. All right, we're gonna add some tree limbs. Is my coffee cold? I can get away with the black because it's just small limbs and whatnot. In here, kind of put your limbs in. They're just little tiny guys like that. Okay, I can kind of get away with doing that with the little tree limbs in here. Make them a little thicker than that there, especially toward the base of the tree. Have them grow out a little bit. Okay, we'll kind of put some here. All right. A buddy of mine, he doesn't know that I'm live. Yeah. I don't have to make these super large, but see, I can put that limb in front of the mountain. Now that limb, look at this here, in front of the mountain, makes that mountain go even further back. This little bony, skinny limb pushes that mountain back. Believe it or not. Isn't that funny? It's like that. We'll have one here, kind of bigger one right here, and it's gonna kind of come in front and go past that one branch just like that. Why did I do that? Because it brings that tree in back, more back. This is the one in the back. It brings it further back. Okay. But that's all, really. That's it. That's all it's doing. And we can put, we can use smaller branches here for this guy out here. It doesn't matter. Little things here. Have it kind of come up and out. Tiny branches here really don't matter for him. Okay. All right. We're almost there. We're almost there. Let's take a palette knife and we'll go right into this yellow ochre. We'll bring a yellow ochre here, a little bit of white, kind of put it in there like that. Mix it up. We'll marble it a little bit. Come here. And we'll kind of give it a little small touch of highlight there. And we'll bring it right up the tree. Just up here a little bit. Get out of there. Get out of there, you little pest. Pour a little bit of that love up here on this one. Just like that. show just a little bit of love for that branch. It kind of brings it out there. All right, guys, let's get rid of some things here. Don't cheat. Funny child, funny. Let's put my name on it real fast here. Actually, I kind of like this color. I'll use the yellow, ochre, and white. We'll pop it right here in the corner. Once again, for those who might be interested in this, I'll put a backing on it. All right. Just email me or whatever. And there. All right, let's peel this off and see what we got. You're going to see my head disappear. You're going to see this palette disappear. Okay. Of course, I always like to show Jessica when I do this. And just give it a minute or two. Let me, this glycerin and paint mix is really messy. Put it in a bowl. That had the strong seal to it. All right, and grab a towel. You will get messy, undoubtedly. Okay. Let's put it on number. Let's put it on number 4. You'll still hear my voice. You won't see my picture. It just spreads it out. Now you'll actually see the actual size of this painting. The paint, it will disappear. The palette on the bottom will go in a few minutes. Okay, little palette knife. Look at this. See how easily it comes off? Look at that. See that? Or you can go the other way. It still comes off. Even the stuff that's been sitting there for a while. That blue's been sitting there for a minute, but as you can see, it all wipes off. Okay. I'll kind of gather it all here. Now, I have gotten into the habit of cleaning this stuff off when I'm finished, so I really don't have to deal with it later. All right. Put the towel right on it. Pick it right up there. And just get most of this stuff off with the towel that you can. You're gonna rinse it off again, but get most of the paint off there. Okay. We'll toss that. Either use the Windex or the rubbing alcohol. This will get the rest of the mess off. It only takes a few seconds and you're done. And then you have a brand spanking new, fresh palette to potentially destroy. It just comes right off. See? I will keep showing this. Not only will it help Jessica, it'll help some others too. If you choose to get a palette like this one. There you go, all done. All right, say goodbye to the palette. Goodbye, palette. All right, let's take this tape off. When I take the tape off, I kind of pull and go upward if I'm at the top. All right, same thing here on the bottom. I'll just pull and go downward. Of course, you guys don't see that well. Go back a little bit. And then pull, go, pull. I'm pulling, going to the right. The reason why I'm doing that is if the tape, if the paint dries it dries in between the tape and the paper, or tape and canvas. If you pull, especially with paper, paper has a tendency to tear, and you'll tear right into your painting. You don't want that. That's just a bad look. That's some bad juju. Okay. Oh, stay wet palette are pretty cool too. Sonia, here, watch. I'm pretty sure you've seen this before, but oh, of course you don't see it because I turned the camera off. But that's all right. We'll bring it back. As you can see, yeah, I got one of them. Also, but they do come in pretty handy. And I do use it from time to time. Also, they're pretty cool. Especially if I'm doing a project and I know that I'll be spending a few days with it, then I don't have to waste the paint. The paint will stay wet. It's really, really neat. But all right, different colors really, because I usually don't use the light blue much. So it gives a different look to this painting. But we use our light blue. Then we use that same light blue with a little bit of green and red, makes that bluish gray here. All right. So everything, everything's worked out fairly well. The trees are somewhat backlit. Okay. And I did use yellow ochre for a highlight instead of basic white or whatever. If I had orange, I would have used orange for it. All right, but it's just a different look, something a little different. The grass is highlighted, but it's not super bright because once again, it's just where the sun is setting. It could be early morning, and I would presume early morning. There's no purple in the sky really, so it's probably early morning. All right. All the fog is burning off from even earlier in that morning. Every painting should tell a story. Okay, every painting should tell a story. So, but yep. All right, guys, I do have somebody to assist and help with the same unit that I have, and so I'm gonna sign off here. So you guys enjoy the start of your weekend. Be safe and all that good stuff. I shall see you guys when I see you. Will I be on later on this evening? I don't know. I doubt it. I may have to go somewhere later on this evening. Oh, hold on. I gotta answer somebody. Hold on. All right, she's getting help somewhere else, so hopefully they will help her out. Hold on one more second, guys. Hey boss, I'm almost done with my live stream. Be with you in a second. Usually I'm not on this early. That's why people are contacting me. So it's all good. All right. What was I saying? I know I was talking something about, you guys having a good weekend. Be safe. So guys, yeah, take care. I don't know, Jessica might be on a little bit later on in the day. It's 2:21 now, so she might be on in a few hours. I don't know if anybody else that may be on. I don't know if Kathy's on with Bingo or not. So, but yeah. Ha! Okay, Sonia. Well, Sonia will be live tonight, talking all sorts of junk, causing trouble, and probably getting Bruce upset. Or maybe Bruce might be the subject. But then again, maybe Rob on the road might chime in too. So for those of you who are going to watch this after the live broadcast, the names I've mentioned, you'll see them in the chat. Put them in the YouTube search. You'll see their channels and subscribe to them. You sit back and you have a good time. Really, it's pretty humorous, pretty funny, and they're really, really good people. So, give everybody a shout out. Let them know who hipped you on to them and everything, and that's how we help each other out. Okay. Oh, Jessica said she'll be doing it later this afternoon. Good. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all of you. All right, and she's on at 8 p.m. She just chimed that in there. All right, so that'd be Fridays at 8 probably. All right, I'm out. Peace.